Rene Descartes quoted, "But in my opinion, all things in nature occur mathematically." Now let us see science of coordinates in different quadrants. I am drawing a horizontal reference line and a vertical reference line. Horizontal reference line is marked as x dash OX. Intersecting point of vertical reference line and horizontal reference line is marked as origin O in the plane. X dash OX is called as x axis and vertical reference line is marked as Y O Y dash. Y dash O Y is called as y axis. Intersecting point of x axis and y axis is called as origin. This act divides this plane into four quadrants: first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Here, OX distances along OX will be taken as positive. Distances along OX are taken as positive, so that OX is called as positive x-axis. Distances marked along OX dash are taken as negative, -1, -2, -3, -4. So that OX dash is called as negative x-axis. Distances along OY are taken as positive. Distances along OY are the distances parallel to OY are taken as positive, so that OY is called as positive y axis. Distances along OY dash are the line parallel to OY dash are taken as negative. So -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on. So that OY dash is called as negative y axis. OX is positive x axis. OX dash is negative x axis. OY is positive y axis. OY dash is called as negative y axis. X dash, line x dash OX is called as x axis. Line y dash OY is called as y axis. X axis and y axis. Now I am taking some points in different quadrants. Namely A, B, C and D. We know perpendicular distance from y-axis to a point, perpendicular distance from y-axis to a point is called x coordinate. So that here let me take this point as P. PA distance is x coordinate on the first coordinate, but PA is along OX, so that coordinate is positive. So this value is O2, here the distance is 2, so P to A is 2 units. Let me take this point as Q. OQ is 2 units, PA also 2 units, as PA along positive x-axis OX, so I took it as positive. Let me take AQ. Perpendicular distance from the given point to x-axis is called y coordinate, so AQ is y coordinate. This distance AQ is along positive y-axis, so that this distance O to P is 3 units, so QA is 3 units, as QA is along OY, positive y-axis, we need to take it as a positive, that is plus 3, plus 2 plus 3, plus 2 and plus 3, both are positive. Like a way we can come to know every point in the first quadrant Q1. The coordinates are with sign plus 2 plus 3. See, let us see the point in second quadrant Q2. Here, perpendicular distance from the given point to y-axis is x coordinate. Here, let me take this point as R. Here, BP RO distance is same, so that BP and RO is, as RO is 2 units, BP also 2 units, but BP is along OX dash, that means negative x axis, so that we will take measure distance move as negative, so that it is, in fact it is OR is 2 units, the distance moved along negative x axis, the distance will be taken as negative, so that is minus 2. BR, distance, perpendicular distance from given point to x-axis is called as y coordinate. BR PO, distance say PO is 3 units. This RB distance is distance moved RB along OY, along the line parallel to OY, so that as OY is positive y-axis, we need to take this distance RB as positive, that is 3 units, so that 3 plus 3. See here in Q2, the point B, coordinates of B with sign x coordinate with sign minus, y coordinate with sign plus, negative, x coordinate with negative sign, y coordinate with positive sign. Here, let us see the point in third quadrant Q3. Here, see distance from the given point to y-axis is called x coordinate. Here, C2, let me take this point as S. CS is along negative x-axis OX dash, along the line parallel to negative x-axis OX dash. CS is along the line parallel to OX dash, negative x-axis, so that CS distance will be taken as negative. The distance CS and RO is same, that is 2 units, but we need to take it with the negative sign minus 2. Next, perpendicular distance from given point to x-axis is y coordinate, that is CR. Distance CR and SO is same, as SO is 3 units, CR also 3 units, but RC is along the line parallel to OY dash, along negative y axis, along the line parallel to negative y axis, so that this distance will be taken as negative. RC is 3 units with a negative sign, that is minus 3. So the points in the third quadrant, coordinates of the points in third quadrant with both with negative sign, x coordinate with negative sign, y coordinate also with negative sign. Every point, like the way we can come to know, every point in third quadrant will have signs for the point coordinates negative, both negative. Now let us observe point in fourth quadrant, Q4, fourth quadrant, Q4. In fact, we know perpendicular distance from given point to y-axis is x coordinate, and perpendicular distance from given point to x-axis is y coordinate. Here ds is equal to qo. The perpendicular distance ds gives the x coordinate. ds is parallel to ox. OX is positive x-axis. Distance along positive x-axis, other line parallel to OX. Distance along positive x-axis OX or line parallel to OX is taken as positive, so that ds is equal to qo is equal to 2 units, so that plus 2. dq, perpendicular distance from given point to x-axis is y coordinate. We know dq is equal to SO. dq is along OY dash. QD is along the line parallel to OY dash. We know distances move along OY dash or line parallel to OY dash will be taken as negative, as OY dash is a negative y axis, so that OS is equal to QD is equal to 3 units, that will be taken with a negative sign minus 3, so that points, coordinates of the points in fourth quadrant Q4 with the sign plus and minus, x coordinate with positive sign, y coordinate with negative sign. Now let us generalize this result. If there is a point xy, if there is a point xy if there is a point xy in first quadrant, then x will have the sign plus, y with the sign plus, both are positive. That means x is greater than 0 and y also greater than 0 in first quadrant. If the point xy is in the first quadrant, then x is greater than 0 and y also greater than 0. If xy is in second quadrant, let us see the signs of xy. If xy is in second quadrant, if the point xy is in second quadrant, then minus plus. First coordinate with negative sign, second coordinate with positive sign. X is with negative sign, y is with positive sign. X is negative number, y is positive number. That means x less than 0 and y greater than 0. In third quadrant, if the point xy in third quadrant, then if the point xy is in third quadrant, every point in third quadrant will coordinates of third quadrant both with negative sign. X coordinate with negative sign, y coordinate with negative sign. That means x is a negative value, y also negative value. That means x less than 0 and y less than 0. X less than 0 and y less than 0 in third quadrant. Now let us see the behavior of the point in fourth quadrant, Q4. If there is a point xy in fourth quadrant, then first coordinate with positive sign, second coordinate with negative sign. X is a positive number, y is a negative number. That means x is greater than 0 and y less than 0. So that by seeing the signs of the coordinates, by observing the signs of the coordinates, we can come to know that point belongs to which quadrant. If both coordinates with positive sign, that point belongs to Q1. First coordinate with negative sign and second coordinate with the positive sign, then the point belongs to second coordinate Q2. If first coordinate with negative sign, second coordinate also negative sign, both are with negative sign, then the point belongs to third quadrant. If first coordinate with positive sign and second coordinate with negative sign, then that point belongs to Q4, fourth quadrant. Now let us generalize the results that we got. Here is x-axis and y-axis, xo, x dash, yo, y dash. If x greater than 0 and y greater than 0, then the point xy, then the point xy, if x greater than 0 and y greater than 0, then the point xy belongs to first quadrant Q1. Then xy belongs to first quadrant. First quadrant Q1. Here, if x greater than 0 and y greater than 0, then the point xy belongs to Q1, first quadrant Q1. If both are positive, then the point xy belongs to Q1. If X is positive and y is positive, then xy belongs to Q1. X is negative and y is positive. That means x less than 0 and y greater than 0. Then the point xy belongs to Q. If x less than 0 and y greater than 0, then the point xy belongs to second quadrant Q. X is negative, x is negative and y is positive. Then the point xy belongs to Q. If x is negative, x less than 0, y also negative, y is less than 0. Then the point xy belongs to third quadrant Q3. If x less than 0 and y less than 0, then the point xy belongs to Q3, third quadrant. If suppose x is positive, y is negative, that means x greater than 0 and y less than 0. Then the point xy belongs to the fourth quadrant. If x greater than 0 and y less than 0, then the point xy belongs to Q4, fourth quadrant. From this we can come to know 2, 5, both are with positive sign. That means 2, 5 belongs to Q1 and both are with positive sign. 2, 5 belongs to Q1. And minus 2, 5 belongs to x is minus 2, 5. X is negative, minus 2, y is positive. Minus 2, 5 belongs to the second quadrant Q. Minus 2, minus 5, both are negative. As both are negative, then the point belongs to Q3. Minus 2, minus 5 will be there in third. If 2, minus 5, first coordinate is with positive sign, second coordinate is with negative sign, then 2 minus 5 will be there in 2 minus 5 will be there in Q4, fourth quadrant belongs to Q4. By observing the signs of the coordinates of given points, we can come to know the point lies in which quadrant. Are there any common points to these quadrants? There are no common points to any two quadrants. There are no common points. There are no common points to any two quadrants. That means we can state Q1 intersection Q2 is equal to 5 empty, no common points. Q1 intersection Q2. To Q1 and Q2 there is no common point. To Q2 and Q3 there is no common point. So Q2 intersection Q3 is equal to 5 empty space. Like away Q3 intersection Q4 is 5. Q4 intersection Q1 is 5. Q4 intersection Q1 is 5. Ampersand. Q4 intersection Q1 is equal to 5. Are there any common points to x-axis and Q1? No common points are there to x-axis and first quadrant. There are no common points to x-axis and second quadrant. Why? Because, see, we know general form of the point on x-axis is x comma 0 or a comma 0. Here a is with positive sign. A is with positive sign. If it is towards Ox, if it is towards Ox dash, then that is with negative sign. But 0 has no sign. So that A0 is not in Q1, it is not in Q2, not in Q3, not in Q4. So points on axis, either it is on x-axis or y-axis. Points on axis doesn't belongs to. Points on axis don't belongs to any of the 4 quadrants. Points in quadrants are different from points on axis.